Hello, everybody. I am Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries, and this is season 13, episode 17. I hope that you all are having an absolutely wonderful Tuesday so far. I know that I am. If my voice sounds a little off, it is because I had an exciting weekend at a convention, and so I lost a large majority of my voice. Anyway, so that's what it is. Regardless, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is firstly letting you guys know again that you are able to sign up for a live event, and we're partnering with Project YM, where you would bring myself and Michael Marchand to a workshop at your parish. And Michael Marchand would be with the adults, and I'll be with the kids. It will be an absolutely great thing. If you want to look sort of more into it, go to theeword.cc/live. That's theeword.cc/live. The link to that will be in the description down below. It's an amazing event that we are going to be putting on, so please reach out. Find more details about it there and how to contact us about it there. Now, I have been kind of going to make a video on this for several years now. I never really have, just because when I thought about it, it was like, oh, it's not directly Christian, but it's only in giving it more thought that I've realized how much of it is. For those of you who know me personally, or who know me from my school, you would know that something that I'm really into. I'd kind of like to say my main thing at my school is student council. As kind of lame as that might sound to some people, to me, it's a lovely thing. Some people, they're really into sports in high school. For me, my thing all of high school has been student council, and it remains that way. Why am I bringing this up on here? Well, I think that the idea of leadership is directly correlated to Christianity in a really unique and important way. I'm not going to say the name of the organization on here just because it's not, I probably could and get away with it, but it's not worth it. Regardless, there's an organization of student councils from different schools across the state that I live in. And I've been going to events that this organization has been putting on for years now. And I went to a leadership camp several summers ago, and then another leadership camp this past summer, which is kind of like the next level up, I guess you could say, from the first one. I've been to some of their conventions since my freshman year, and I just got back from another one. And I feel really called to talk about it because something that they have taught me at these student council conventions, and something that I've tried to learn and sort of implement in how I lead, is that leadership is service, right? To serve and to lead, those are synonyms. And the more you think about it, sort of the morals of what it takes to be a leader, the reality of service is so connected to our Christian way of thinking, our Christian life, and what Jesus Christ desires for us. As Christians, we are called to serve one another, right? Well, we're called to serve God, right? Service is so essential to our Catholic faith. We're called to serve God. We are absolutely called to serve God, and we're called to serve one another. And it is through serving others that we also serve God, right? Because we're serving God's creation. 1 Peter 4, 8 through 11, serve one another with the gifts you have received. Service is essential to the Christian way of life. Service can mean a multitude of things, right? It can mean something as big as laying down one's life for yourself, right? We see that in 1 John. Or it can be something as simple as holding the door open for somebody. I don't know, right? The service can be a variety of things. It can be explained in student council when it comes to how we're leading. It can be explained when we're just walking down the street and saying hi to somebody. Regardless of what it is, service is essential to a Christian way of life. And if leadership and service are synonyms, if serving is a way of leading, then ultimately as Catholics, we are called to be leaders. We are called to be leaders in multiple ways. We are called to be leaders in terms of stepping up and being able to defend our faith. We are called to be leaders in terms of going out of our way to reach out to those in need, to exemplify to them our Catholic love, the love for Jesus Christ, and sharing it with others. That's a form of service. We are called to serve others. This organization of student councils, it's an organization that I absolutely love. And it's one that I fully give credit for changing my life in a lot of ways, really helping me to better myself as a person. And what's interesting is, despite the fact that it's not Christian, right? Like, it's not a specifically Christian organization, it still has managed to draw me closer to my faith. Because the organization has helped me to realize what is important in life. And I've come to understand that we are only able to know what is important in life through God. After all, God gave us this life. The direct correlation between leadership and what it means to be a Christian is so essential. Am I saying that, oh, if you're on student council, you better be Christian? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm trying to say, okay? Am I saying that, oh, if you're a Christian, you better be on some council or have a leadership role in something? No, that's not what I'm saying at all, right? Not everybody's called to do that. Some of us are called to service in different ways, maybe ways that aren't as obvious. But just because it's not a specific role, right, that doesn't mean that it isn't leadership. Leadership, we too often try to focus that in on it as, oh, that's the ones who give speeches, who get attention. Not necessarily. Leaders can be those who reach out to others who are kind. Leaders can be those who share the gospel with others. That's an easy form of leading. Leaders can be others who get their friends to come to youth group with them. Leaders can be a lot of different things, and each of us, you and I, are called to be it. Am I saying that I'm a perfect leader and, oh, don't worry, guys, you figured it out, I got this down? Absolutely not, okay? I still have a long way to go, but what I am saying is that this organization has helped me to come to understand that, despite the fact that it isn't Christian. And what's really, really cool is that despite the fact that it isn't Christian, its morals, its values go hand in hand with the Christian faith in a lot of ways. Because the reality is, in order for us to have morals, in order for us to really have values, then Christianity has to be real, right? It's because of God that we have our morality. That could be a whole different topic. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it is because of God that we are even able to serve in the first place, that we are able to serve our neighbor, right? And we read in the New Testament, someone was trying to stump Jesus, right? They tried to ask him, what is the greatest commandment? He responded with 2. He said, love God above all else, love your neighbor as yourself. In order to love somebody, we have to serve them, right? Service is a way to exemplify that love. It's one thing to tell somebody that we love them. It's another thing to show them. And service is that showing them. Service both to God and to others. And that service to others is leadership. So yeah, I mean, in a way, you could see student council as inherently Christian. But in a much more broader sense, you could see leadership as a whole and inherently Christian. Because to lead is what we are called to do. To lead is what so many of the saints did. To lead is what so many of the martyrs did before us, right? And they led in such beautiful ways. Some more extroverted, some more internalized leadership. Whatever it is, it was done. If we think that we can wake up tomorrow and suddenly change our attitude and boom, be able to serve everybody, no, it's going to take some time to fully get there, right? To fully have a servant's heart. That takes effort, that takes time. But it takes a relationship with God, it takes learning, it takes patience. And it takes continually growing closer to God. Until eventually, over time, we feel that kind of serving others is just a natural part of our day-to-day life. That's something that I'm still struggling with. I'm hoping to get better at it. But at the end of the day, guys, it is important to understand that leadership can mean a lot of different things. And this idea that kind of our social life, right, our school life, if you are in student council watching this, right, this is kind of targeted, this specific part of the video is targeted toward anybody who may be in student council. The idea that you have to keep that separate from your faith life is totally untrue. Because at the end of the day, they do go hand in hand, and God can easily help you to be a better leader. And it's a truly, truly beautiful thing and a beautiful reality to understand. 1 Peter 4:8-11. Serve one another with the gifts you have received. So, now that the topic is done, do y'all know what it is time for now? It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
And today's saint of the week is St. Aloysius Gonzaga. Now, St. Gonzaga, the patron saint of leadership, and the patron saint of leadership for a reason. It's because of his service throughout his life. He grew up in the 16th century in a brutal Renaissance period within Florence. Yet despite that, because of sort of the physical strength of his father envisioned for his son, Gonzaga, Aloysius, to be a strong military man, to be strong in the military, to help fight. St. Aloysius Gonzaga didn't entirely want that. After learning more about the faith, he actually wanted to enter the Society of Jesus, and he wanted to be more devout within his faith. And dedicate himself to a life of prayer. It took 4 years to convince his father to let him to do that. Yet, despite continual rejection, St. Aloysius continued persisting, and eventually was allowed to join the order and become a Jesuit. And so, at this time, there was a plague that had hit Europe. It struck Rome, and the Jesuits were having a really hard time dealing with it. They opened a hospital of their own. Bishops were falling ill to it. Like it was a really bad time. St. Aloysius Gonzaga decided that he was one who was going to serve, and he served as a nurse to those who were ill. And he didn't really hesitate. Like he knew that it might result in death, getting so close to those who were ill. But if it meant service, if it meant helping others, he continued to do it, because ultimately, service, that leadership, right, is a form of loving God. And so St. Aloysius got sick, and 3 months later, within the octave of Corpus Christi, he died at the age of 23. So he was a young saint too. Yet, despite everything that was going on in his time, he didn't let that slow down his service, slow down his leadership. And again, I'm using the two words interchangeably because they are synonyms, and it's so important to remember that. So anytime we feel like we may be struggling to lead right with whatever is going on within our own life, including the service that we may be struggling to have, not just for others, but for God as well, we can always look through St. Aloysius Gonzaga for help. St. Aloysius Gonzaga, pray for us. So before you guys click off this video, again, please go to theeword.cc/live for information about the live event and how to book it. Additionally, you can book me to come and speak to your school, church, youth group, men's group, women's group, parish, whatever it is, you name it. You can do that by emailing us directly at kineticatholicministries@gmail.com, or go to the website kineticcatholic.com, click the contact us page, and email us from there. Also on the website kineticcatholic.com, so many awesome things you can do up there. We have our very own merch store up there. Details about the advisory board is up there. Please go check all of that out. Please check out all 3 of the social medias. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description down below. Please comment any saint or topic suggestions that you might have for future videos that you want to see. Please click the red subscribe button and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. And if you are already subscribed, then please share this channel and video with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kid Catholic. Please like the video. Once again, I hope that you guys are having a great Tuesday so far, leading up to Thanksgiving. Guys, we're almost all the way through first semester, which is just wild to me. But I hope it's going great for you guys. This was Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries. I will see you all next week. And hi, Brielle.